Hey doggos, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you're new, hello, hi, I'm Liz, and today I'm doing my first Bible study. I've been to a lot of Bible studies, but I've never hosted one, so this is the first time. And I have my friend Lizzie here. She wanted to come, and if you guys have your Bibles, we are reading Exodus chapter 1 to 4. So just let me know if you guys have a Bible, if you want to follow along. This is my first time, so you guys gotta help me out here. I'm a little bit nervous. We have a couple people in the chat. But yeah, I put the Bible on my screen, so if you guys don't have it, you can follow along here. Okay. Just let me know when you guys have it. Just say, do this emoji. Let's look for an emoji. Yeah, do this emoji when you have it. Lizzie, do you want to say anything? You guys have it. Hi! Sunny's here! Hello, guys! Okay. So earlier today, I wrote down some notes so I would have like a template, what I'm going to be following along and stuff, because I didn't want to miss anything or skip over too much. So if I'm like pausing for a long period of time, I'm probably reading my notes, so just know that. So we're going to start here. So basically, this first paragraph is about Jacob's family in Egypt, all of that jazz. Their generation died, but the Israelites lived. So there was a new king in Egypt, and Joseph didn't really care about the new king. He didn't think any kind of trouble would happen. But the new king was making the Egyptians work extra hard and stuff. They were just making their lives harder, pushing them to their limits, working them to death, all that stuff. It was really bad for them. Not a good look. And then, so, since he was a new king, he wanted to stay king. He was a selfish kind of king, and he was having all of the new babies that were guys die, because he didn't want to give up his spot of being king, He was a very selfish king. So, he told the nurses that were delivering the babies and stuff, kill the boys, we don't want them. But of course they didn't listen, because they feared God more than, him, So, of course, they didn't obey him, they didn't listen, they didn't want to kill innocent baby boys just because they were guys. So, then the Pharaoh, he got really upset, and basically he was just like, alright, if you guys aren't gonna do it, I'm gonna send out like a big notice, kill all the baby boys. This is in Exodus chapter 1 verse 22, right here. So the Pharaoh gave this commandment to his people: if the Hebrew woman give birth to a baby girl, let it live. But if it's a baby boy, you must throw it into the Nile River. He just really wanted to stay king for a long time, all that jazz. And something really interesting too is this didn't just happen when Moses was born. So, okay, this chapter takes place about like a couple years before Moses is born, but it also happens again with King Herod when Jesus is born. Like, they have all the baby boys dying, but Moses and Jesus live. That's really cool to me. So now we're in Exodus chapter 2. If any of you guys are following along, some of my friends are here too. So if you guys could just watch the chat. I'm not really looking at it. So yeah. The second chapter is about baby Moses. Let me look at my notes real quick. Okay. So what happened was baby Moses's mom, she was pregnant with a baby boy. She gave birth to her, all that jazz. She didn't want to throw her into the Nile River, so what she did was hide the baby. And this lasted like 3 months. She hid the baby. It was all good. But then after 3 months, it just became harder for her to watch the baby and all that stuff. So then what she did was this part right here. She hid him for as long as she could. After 3 months, she made a basket, covered it with tar so that it would float. And then she put baby Moses into the basket and put it into the Nile River. And then, this is so cool what happens. The Pharaoh's daughter, get this. So the Pharaoh's daughter was just going to take a bath, right? Right here. And she sees a basket in the river. And it's in the tall grass. You know, the baby's... She just saw the baby. I'm guessing she didn't know it was a guy at the moment, but she went, grabbed the thing, and she felt really bad for the baby boy. She saw it was a baby boy right here, and the baby was crying, and she felt sorry for him. She noticed that it was one of the Hebrew babies. So, Hebrew or Israelites. I don't usually use my laptop when I'm making these kind of notes as well, because I just like to either use the real Bible or my phone most of the time. But yeah, that's why there's like nothing highlighted. That's why I keep looking at my notes and stuff. So yeah. She saw the baby boy, and she noticed it was a Hebrew baby, and she felt bad for him, so she had one of her servants come and nurse her. Do you want me to find the Hebrew woman who can nurse the baby and help for it? She said yes, and yada yada. So basically, a Hebrew woman that is a servant of hers is taking care of Moses, and then when Moses gets older, let me look at my notes real quick. Okay, yeah. So when Moses gets like older, like 14, 15, I don't really know the real ages, but I'm just guessing like that age, where they're independent-ish. Not really independent, but you know what I mean. Basically, the Pharaoh's daughter, which is the one who found Moses in the basket, raises Moses once he's older. Because, she doesn't really want to raise a baby, so she just waits till she's older. And yeah. So once Moses grew older, he is like an undercover Hebrew, but everyone thinks he's an Egyptian. Everybody thinks he's an Egyptian, but he's not. He is a Hebrew man hiding in the palace, The only people that know he's a Hebrew baby is the person that's raising him and the Pharaoh's daughter. Maybe the Pharaoh too, I'm not for sure, but that's pretty much that. And then the next part, Moses sees a Hebrew person and an Egyptian fighting each other. Right here, this looks a little bad, but he killed the Egyptian person because he could not watch an Egyptian killing his own kind. That's basically what happens there. And in the next day, two Hebrew men who think... Okay, so you gotta see it from their point of view. They're just seeing it as an Egyptian killed an Egyptian. They don't know that Moses is a Hebrew. So the next day, he sees two Hebrew men fighting each other, and one of them says, "Why are you hurting your neighbor?" Because he thinks he just hurt an Egyptian, not a Hebrew or different type of him, you know? So basically that's it for that. And then, I'm just looking at my notes real quick. So then the news broke out to the Pharaoh. So this is the Pharaoh's daughter's dad, his grandpa, if it was all that stuff. So the news broke out to him, and basically he wanted to get rid of Moses. He wanted to end him. So he ran away. He flew. He fled. So that's what happened. And then he met a really nice lady, and he married her, which it shows right. It shows in one of these areas, right here. He marries his daughter. They have a kid, all that jazz. So this is like maybe a couple years into the future since when he fled from the palace. So he has a son, he has a wife, and yeah. And in this next part, it says, yeah, a long time passed from, and the king of Egypt died. So the Pharaoh, which is the one who wanted to kill Moses, died. And Moses is safe and sound with his wife and his kids, or his kid. And yeah. Now we're going to Exodus chapter 3. And I don't know how to say this name. Oh, I also forgot to mention, when they found baby Moses, they named him Moses because it means washed up or something. Let me see if it shows it in the Bible. It should be in like chapter 2. Baby boy. I don't know if it will. Yeah. She named him Moses because the name means to pull or draw out, and they pulled him out of the river. So that's a really cute, cool little detail. Really cool. And yeah. So now we're going on to Exodus chapter 3. If you guys are following along, this is the chapter. I really like this chapter because God talks to Moses in a really cool way. You will see very shortly. It is so cool. He's so cool. Okay. Moses' father-in-law, named, I don't know how to say that, was a priest, and Moses cared for his sheep. One day Moses led the sheep to the west side of the desert. He went to the mountain called that word, the mountain of God. On the mountain, Moses saw an angel of the Lord in a burning bush. So this is really cool because the Lord is like talking to Moses in a bush. I don't know. That's just really cool to me. He could talk to you in so many cool ways, and I just find that one of the really cool ways. So he decided to get closer to the bush to see how a bush could continue burning without burning up. The Lord saw Moses. He was coming to look at the bush, so he called him from the bush. He said, "Moses, Moses." Moses said, "Yes, Lord." Then God said, "Don't come any closer. Take off your sandals. You're standing on holy ground. I am the God of your ancestors. I am the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob," etc., etc. Moses covered his face because he was afraid or maybe even ashamed. I don't know. It doesn't say that, but I feel like he could be because like a couple years back he did sadly kill somebody. But he might not feel holy enough or like pure enough to even look at God. Maybe that's what's going on. Yeah. I don't even know if I could. It sounds really scary. And then the Lord says, "I have seen the troubles of my people who have suffered in Egypt. I have heard their cries when the Egyptians hurt them. I know their pain." Yeah. Okay. So basically, right here, they're just going on about how Moses doesn't feel worthy of helping God out here. He doesn't feel like a good man. Right here it says, I am not a great man. How can I be the one to Pharaoh and lead the Israelites out of Egypt? He just doesn't feel worthy, but eventually he does with his brother. You'll see that in the next chapter. And then it says, but what if the Israelites say to them, God is the ancestor of me, and the people will ask, what is his name? What should I tell him? What should I tell them? God said to Moses, tell them, I am who I am. When you go to the Israelites, tell them, I am sent me to you. And God said, tell the Israelites that you were sent by... Okay, I know how to say this, but I cannot always say it. But that's another name for Jesus. I forgot how to say it though, so I'm sorry. If anyone knows how and could, like, I don't know, enunciate or pronounce it in the chat, I don't really know. Just let me know. Okay. The God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. This will always be my name. It is how I want people to remember me from now on. And also, if any of you are new to the Bible, new to being a Christian or anything, Moses, that happens before Jesus' time. So I think it's just really cool how a lot of the same things are happening to Moses and Jesus. Like, before they were both born, they wanted all of the baby boys to die because there was a new king in town and they didn't want to share the throne or all that jazz. You know? So yeah. So basically, they're just going back and forth saying, what do I say if they ask this? What do I say if they ask that? So we could just skip that part. Of course, you guys can read it if you want. This is Exodus chapter 3. We're only skipping, like, a couple verses. So make sure to go back to that. I read this morning, so I already know what happens. But yes. Now we're going on to Exodus chapter 4. If you are following along, or if you're new to this stream or anything, we are reading the story about Moses and all that jazz. So yes, I'll wait a little bit, wait for you guys to get to Exodus chapter 4, and we'll just see how the stream is going. Alright, so I don't know if you guys are here, but I am going to start. I've been looking at my notes, and I'm ready. Okay, let's start. So, then Moses said to God, but the Israelites will not believe me if I tell you you sent me. They will say, the Lord did not appear to you. But the Lord said to Moses, what is that you have in your hand? Moses answered, it is my walking stick. So in this chapter, God is going to show him like 3 miracles he could provide if they still don't believe him when they tell him that God sent him. And they're really cool, so stick around. Make sure you listen to those miracles that he's going to show. So right here it says, then God said, throw your walking stick on the ground. So Moses threw his walking stick on the ground, and it became a snake. That is really cool, and reach out with it with your hands and grab it by the tail. Blah, 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 blah. When Moses reached out to catch the snake's tail, the snake became a walking stick again. Then God said, use your stick in a way that people will believe that you saw the Lord and God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. Then the Lord said to Moses, I will give you another proof. Put your hands under my robe, under your robe. So Moses put his hand, like, robe, pocket, whatever you want to think of it as. He put it in his, like, pocket, and when he took it out, okay, a little background story. about this. There is a disease that was very common in their time. So yeah, basically the disease made your hands white and with spots all over it. So when he took his hand out of his robe, his hand came out like that. It's really crazy, but yes. Then God said, "Now put your hand in your robe again." So he did, and when he took it out, it changed back to a good hand. So those are two miracles that he performed, that he could perform if they still don't believe him when they say that God sent him. And then he says, if the people don't believe you when you use your walking stick, they will believe you when you show them this sign. If they refuse to believe you after you show them both of these signs, then take some water from the Nile River, pour it on the ground, and as soon as it touches the ground, it will become blood. Another thing Jesus and Moses had in common were they were doing miracles, but in different times. Also, another thing, they both fasted for 40 days, which I really think is super cool. Moses' mission was mostly to save the Israelites, and Jesus was to save our lives, so we wouldn't have to suffer. I'll probably do another Bible story just about Jesus, but I just wanted to connect some things where Jesus is shown in the Moses stories. So those were some examples. Then Moses said, "But Lord, I am telling you, I am not a good speaker. I have never been able to speak well." Honestly, same. I prayed before this, and he's really helping me, and it's great and all that jazz. So thank you, Lord Jesus. I love you so much, broski. But yeah, he's honestly helping me right now, because I tried to do this yesterday, and I was stuttering. Prayer is the only way, bro. If you don't pray, you need to. Jesus is really cool. He's really helping me right now. But yes, I have never been able to speak well, and this hasn't changed since you started talking to me. I am still not a good speaker. You know, I speak slowly and I don't use the best words. Then the Lord said to you, "Who made the person's mouth? And who can make someone deaf or not able to speak? Who can make someone blind? Who could make a person be able to see? I am the one. I am the Lord. So, go. I will be with you when you speak. I will give you words to say." But Moses said, "My Lord, I beg you, send someone else, not me." So I feel like he said that because first he still didn't feel worthy from earlier, but also because of his talking too. There could be many reasons why he said that, but I feel like that's also one. So then what the Lord does, he gets a little bit angry. He's a little angry. "All right, I'll give you someone to help you. Arion." This is his brother. Arion the Levite. I don't know how to say that. Your brother. Isn't he? He is a good speaker. In fact, Arion is already coming to meet you, and he will be happy to see you. I will tell you what I say. Then you will tell Arion. I will help him say it well. I will tell both of you what to do, so Arion will speak for you, like God. Like God, you speak with him. You will speak to him, and he will tell the people what you say. So go and carry your walking stick with you, and use it and the other miracles to show people that I am with you. So I think that's really cool how he's sticking along. He's always with us. If believe it or not, he's always with you. He's with me right now, probably. Most like, for sure. But yes, that is mostly what this chapter is about. I'll probably save the rest of this for the next time I do it, because I want you guys to be able to remember or understand what happens in the next chapters. I don't want you guys to forget, or I could read it now and then read it again later. But yeah. Then Moses went back to his father-in-law. Moses said to him, "Please let me go back to Egypt. I want to see if the people are still alive." His father-in-law said to Moses, "Go in peace." Then Moses was still in the Midian, and the Lord said to him, "It is safe for you to go back to Egypt now. The men who wanted to kill you are dead now." He's probably referring to the Pharaoh, because the last chapter he died, or was it the last one, or which one was it? I'm pretty sure it was chapter 2. It was like at the end. Maybe it's chapter 3. Yeah. Where is it? Oh, it's chapter 2. I looked at my notes. So chapter 2, the Pharaoh dies. So he's probably referring to the Pharaoh as one of the people who want to kill him. But now he's gone, so that's the end of that. And yeah. So Moses put his wife and children on the donkey and returned to Egypt. He carried his walking stick with him, the walking stick with the power of God. While Moses was traveling back to Egypt, the Lord spoke to him. "When you talk to the Pharaoh, remember to show him all of the miracles that have been given you the power to do. But I will cause the Pharaoh to be very stubborn," or cold-hearted, hard-hearted. And I'm pretty sure this is... Never mind. This is what the Lord says. "Israel is my firstborn son, and I am telling you to let my son go and worship me. If you refuse to let Israel go, I will kill your firstborn son." AKA Passover, probably. I'm not for certain on that, but yeah. Moses' son... Okay. Moses arrives to Egypt. The Lord has spoken to Aaron and told him, "Go out to the desert and meet Moses." So Aaron went to the desert and met Moses on the mountain that they told him to go to in, I believe, chapter 2? No, chapter 3. So in the last chapter, God told them to go to this one mountain once they got back to Egypt and all that, to worship him and stuff. Aaron, everything the Lord has commanded him to do. What? Moses told Aaron everything the Lord has commanded him to do, and all the miracles he must do to prove that God has sent him. So Moses and Aaron gathered together, and all of the elders of the Israelites. Then Aaron spoke to the people and told them everything the Lord had told Moses. Then Moses did the miracle for all the people to see. If you forgot, the miracles that he said he was going to do was the staff to the snake, where he drops his staff, turns into a snake, picks it up, turns back into a staff. And then the disease in the hand, in the cloak, where he put his hand in the cloak, the disease all over his thing, his arm, and then he put it back and it was gone. And then the final thing that he said was water from the Nile River, and then he would pour it onto dry ground and it would turn into blood. Those were the 3 miracles that God told him to do so that he could prove that it was God that sent him. Then Aaron spoke to the people and told them everything the Lord had told Moses. Did I already read that? I'm sorry if I already read that. and they believed what they had heard. Then the Israelites understood that the Lord had seen their troubles and had came to help them. So they bowed down and worshipped God. That's all for today's stream. Thank you guys for watching. I'll probably do another one soon. If I'm for sure doing another one soon. We will probably read we'll probably read from like 5 to 8 or 9. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This was my first Bible study. The first time I'm hosting a Bible study, what I mean to say. So thank you guys for watching, and bye!